Woo! We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Makes a bloody change. Okay, shall we start?
Yes.
Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb. Okay, welcome to XGR. I can't remember what the hell XGR stands for. Jog my memory, would you?
XPound Gaming Radio.
Thank you.
XPound Gaming Radio.
What they said.
At night, in the morning.
Yes, truly, madly, deeply. Alright, as you can obviously tell, it is not one of the usual crew who's going to be hosting this one. This is me, the one and only, Simon. Yes, I know, I've taken over the show. Fantastic.
Our unusual crew.
Yes, truly. Okay, for this round table conference of badasses, awesomeness, and fucking quirkiness, I'm gonna go from my left to my right. Okay, to my right on my screen I have the Bruce Willis of gaming himself, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the bold, of the head, the Rick of the hammer variety.
Hello.
Well, I build you up to that.
I know, yeah. It was such a good introduction. I knew I wasn't going to do it justice.
Dude, so not cool, man. Okay, to my left we got my fellow badass Brit.
Hello.
He deserves no introduction. He just is awesome. And
I am, darling. I am. Oh my god, and those Prada shoes. Sorry, Rick. It's just the host is really camp this week, and like when I suck up to you, I sort of literally and figuratively suck up to this host. So, hello.
Okay, and I want to stab you in the face, Chris.
I know. Can you believe that Big and Carrie got together in the movie? Oh my god, that was so wonderful.
Speaking of which, have you heard that there's going to be a third one?
Oh my god, a third Sex in the City. I am so happy with that.
Okay.
It's going to be bigger than Batman v Superman. Oh my god.
That would be amazing. And anyway.
Thank you for mentioning what the movie was. I was lost.
It's alright. And moving swiftly along, Four Eyes. Geeky girl, Anna.
Thank you.
There we go. See, that is the roundtable conference of awesomeness introduced. And all this merriment. Okay, here's the inside scoop for anyone who's new and joining us for the very first time. God forbid, you poor bastards. You're gonna need a fucking miracle for this one. Okay, so here's the inside scoop, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean the actual scoop, not the half-hour scoop that Jeff and Jim normally give, where it's like, hi, we are the XPound.
I know. It's just annoying whenever they just drone on.
I know. Fuck you. Okay, so obviously we've got a bit of news. We're going to have a catch-up on the games that we played this week. And obviously there's going to be a topic of the week, which is going to be digital versus physical. Don't make any fucking porn joke, anyone. Okay, news, people, go. What have you got? Dance by puppets. Dance for the puppet master.
You need to tell us who you want to go first with our first bit of news.
Oh,
You
sorry
can
about
choose.
that. Four Eyes, you're the last one to speak. Go.
Okay, there's two people wearing glasses, so I'm assuming you're choosing me and not Richter because you'd be less likely to make fun of him.
I make fun of
He
his
doesn't-
bald, shiny head.
He starts from the top down, so he sees, oh, bald. He doesn't even go past that. He has no idea I wear glasses.
I honestly
It's
have
on
no
your
idea.
picture. Your picture wears glasses.
I know, but he starts at the top. He sees bald, and he's like, that's Rick.
Yeah. Hello, Simon. Richter has a face.
Yes, I know.
I don't have a name tag up there.
No, all it is just like the shiny head, and that's what I say. It's blinding to my eyes.
Alright, so first bit of news.
Thank you, good night.
Activision is having what? No. I say no. Okay. Activision is having a big sale on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. So basically you can get a whole bunch of really cheap games and you can get them even cheaper on the PS3. Just letting you know, because the prices are totally different.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, like Angry Birds, Star Wars, $14 here on PlayStation 3. It's $9.
Last gen costs less than this gen? What?
I know.
It's like significant amount less. I thought it would
Wow.
be less, you know.
By the way,
Less.
fun drinking game. Take a shot of vodka every time Stacey goes,
Which I will point out, just because I'm from where I am, there is a little bit of irony in this, and that is Activision makes Call of Duty. Their big competitor is Battlefield, made by EA. In the UK, we have an EA sale instead of an Activision one. So literally, it's two competitors are both on sales in different regions. It's kind of funny and unique.
Indeed it is.
Also, there is a sale on Destiny, but the sale does not really apply to Canada because it's $10 more for Canada. So, sad face.
Sucks to be Canadian.
Canada doesn't get a Destiny.
Yeah, so pretty much everything, like the Canada version, $10 more. I don't know if that's still cheaper than...
To be fair, it might be $10 Canadian more, which I believe is probably going to balance out, because don't they have a better dollar in yours? I'm not sure if it...
Everyone has a better dollars. Oh, theirs is worse? I thought ours was the worst.
I think theirs is worth less than ours is.
That's super shitty. Yeah. That's like extra shitty, yeah.
Who's gonna gym it?
Alright, and another sale, Duck Dynasty. I know everyone wants to play the Duck Dynasty game.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Gotta go buy that.
I'm gonna go buy that. And I have no idea what this is called. But it's the title sounds cool. Play some African adventures. Yeah.
I already have that. It's called San Andreas.
Wow. That movie with The Rock?
Nice.
Also, you can get, remember that Walking Dead Survival Instinct, the one that was super horrible? You can get it for like $10. So now all you need is $10 to hurt yourself.
As opposed to the other horrible Walking Dead game.
Haven't even
I like that one.
Are they any good?
I don't. If you like whiny children that are god modded as fuck, in a way similar to Justin from Power Rangers, you will love this.
She wasn't god modded until the second season. In the first season, I don't think she was really that god modded, but they totally did in the second season, which is why I don't like the second season.
In that case, I think I'll pass. Okay, moving along.
Alright, and you also get, there is more Angry Birds for the Vita. So yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
And to not completely, and you also get a whole Transformers pack. So you get a whole bunch of Transformer games for $40. That's not bad.
You get 2 of them.
Oh, it says.
I don't know why the first Cybertron game isn't in there. At least when I looked at it.
It says whole bunch underneath here, but you know.
Oh.
According to my information, $1 is worth 1.2 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, and something called Geometry Wars 3, because, you know, mathematical! Yeah!
Wow, okay.
Oh, God.
I haven't heard.
That's from Adventure Time, by the way.
I don't even like Geometry Wars. But...
Get your geometry on right now!
She both made him happy by talking about Transformers and made him sad.
Yeah. It's amazing she did that. Okay, Willis, you're next.
We don't know which one that is.
The bald one.
Oh.
The Willis.
Oh, okay. I was like,
oh my God, tell me you didn't.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, which one of us is short, black, shriveled, and dead?
Oh, that Willis! Oh, fuck! No! No, I didn't mean that one, you idiots! Oh my God, I just noticed the actual fucking glasses on you. Oh shit, I thought those were hands!
Hands. Like he's playing peekaboo with his child.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's called I've had a lot to drink.
But I like the fact when he said Willis, both me and Richter both thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, which one's that?
Yeah. And when he said Bruce, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I'm very confused there. Okay, so my first little bit of news. They announced that Grandia II, awesome RPG by the way, is getting a remastered Steam release. So it apparently originally came out on PC in 2002, but Gung Ho Online Entertainment is going to do an HD touch-up for it, and
Ooh.
that should be pretty cool. Because hopefully, like, I'm hoping because I've seen the Dreamcast one. My wife went through that game twice, and I
have the
watched her.
PS2
So
one.
like, that's a cool one, and I've heard the PS2 one wasn't as good just because they didn't port it very well. But
It was actually pretty good.
okay, but yeah, I'm totally excited because that's a really good game that has a
Yes,
really
it
cool
is.
main character, and it's pretty interesting plot too. So
Yeah.
definitely excited for that.
Nice. It's always
Yeah.
nice hearing about Dreamcast stuff.
Yeah,
I love the Dreamcast.
apparently it was decided by a fan vote. So I guess I'm going to assume that Skies of Arcadia wasn't up there. Because I'm pretty sure that would win, even if there was no Steam version. It would somehow just win.
You know, I have really wanted to play Skies of Arcadia for fucking years.
That's a cool game.
Is it wrong? I was thinking, yeah, for Dreamcast HD, and I'm like, okay, which games would I want to be remastered from the Dreamcast? Like, oh wait, I already own the Sonic Adventures. Royal Rumble, remaster Royal Rumble.
Yes.
With less than 30 people, just so the others can experience our pain.
Yes. That would be hilarious.
That would be great.
Oh.
Call it WWE Network, and then release old WWE games starring old characters because they were on the WWE Network. It's like you're playing the past. And then charge it for the game $9.99. No. And there's a download title.
That'd be
Okay.
awesome.
That would be a dick move. Worth it. Okay, what other news you got there, Ricky?
That was his first one.
yeah,
I mean, you need to introduce me, Simon.
Oh. My brother from another mother.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I don't have the energy to be as camp as Simon for all of this. But I will say, professional wrestler and all-round big fighting dude, as they put here, Brock Lesnar, has popped up in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. As pointed out by Kotaku, a piece of concept art appearing in Syndicate's reveal stream, paused at 44.54, shows off a bald guy in a fighting arena sporting Lesnar's exact back tattoo. You can check the pictures out online. It's very possible that Lesnar's likeness is just being used by someone in the art department for inspiration purposes. But still, and they said here, but still, I kind of like the idea of the big guy, as they called him, which, I'm sorry, that's Ryback, causing a ruckus in Victorian London. Which, when I saw that, I was like, if it was inspired by it, you would at least change the tattoo, I
Yeah.
thought. This looks way too much like him. Like, this looks more like Brock from Rangabok the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of like the idea of Victorian Brock Lesnar.
Well, supposedly, the guy he's like punching or hitting with something awkwardly, is some other MMA fighter.
Nice.
So it's likely they just took like models or I don't know video or something like that just to shove it in as a placeholder. But one of the comments I of course always liked when I saw people were like, "Oh, dude, so this takes place next to Suplex City."
Nice. But if they're using other MMAs, it is possible, like we were slightly discussing before this, it is possible they've taken the model not from something they've made, but I was just thinking then, they did South Park Stick of Truth, and they took some of THQ's assets.
Mm.
And THQ did one of the UFC games, so it's possible they might have had some of the THQ assets.
Yeah.
But still, Victorian Brock Lesnar eats, and like I said, eats, and it's in Assassin's Creed, so eat, sleep, jump into hay, repeat.
There is nothing. Okay, we should totally make it like a fucking dance track for that. That'd be awesome.
But our gorgeous feminine host, that was the first bit of my news. So back to you. Over there in the Candy Floss Tower.
What the fuck are you on? The fucking candy. Oh, never mind. Alright.
Sorry, I'll introduce you properly. Weighing in at an impressive 25 pounds. She
God.
hails from England, Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Dum 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 dum. Simon!
You actually did the fucking Lollipop song, mate. You fucking asshole. You know what? I can't bring myself to hate you. I'm too proud.
Yep, you get a Lollipop song, and as we would mention, ironically, with the two that aren't here, of Jeff and James, those two are about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop.
No, that's an
Hey,
insult.
Simon might be into that, you know. You never know.
No thanks, I'm good. Okay, guys and girls.
When she says Simon may be into that, are you thinking of him getting anal sex, Richter, but still keeping a lollipop in his mouth, Shawn Michaels style?
Okay, that's another thing for a completely different podcast that we're not going to get into.
Sorry,
want
back to
fan
you,
art
50
of
Shades of Gay.
Thanks. Okay, all you Star Wars nerds out there, EA and the Dead Space developers of Visceral are going to be apparently working on a Han Solo Star Wars video game, so that should be fucking awesome.
That's going to be shit. A game where you can't shoot first?
Hey, Han shot first, people. Let that be known.
Well, this might not be part of the actual Disney continuity, so Lord only knows what could happen. Maybe he'll like fuse with Chewbacca. There's some power up where you like merge together to become a rampaging laser beast or something, or the Millennium Falcon will transform into a mech. Because why the fuck not?
Can I just say that sounds awesome?
That does sound awesome, but I will assume it will be part of the Disney continuity.
Probably.
Only because apparently one of the spin-off films that people are talking about is a young Han Solo film.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's too much
part of the
coincidence.
continuity for now.
For now.
I feel like in 10 years they'll just be like, no, that didn't happen, and they'll be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, moving swiftly along. Although, actually, in the event that the entire thing that Rick said there of him fusing with Chewbacca and gets a fucking mech, in the event that does possibly happen, we fucking called it here.
That totally happened. It's called Star Wars Transformers.
Sort
Again.
of, yeah.
Yeah. So I love the idea of the Millennium Falcon that's split into two. One was Chewie, one was Han, but they put together and make a Falcon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I wish they'd actually made a cartoon or a comic of Transformers Star Wars. I would have watched that.
I'm surprised they
anyone would've
didn't.
watched
It seems like it would have just,
Yeah, like when they
would
did
have just flown at it like a magnet, but okay.
Yeah, like when they announced the Marvel comics of Transformers and Marvel together. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's gonna be based on the Transformers Marvel line. No, they just met up with some shitty young Avengers. I'm like, oh,
Wow, that does sound shitty.
it does. But I'm sorry, back to the host.
Yes. Okay, anyone got any other second bits of news?
I believe we all do.
Sweet. Okay. And going back round. Four Eyes, you're up first.
Alright. So,
Now put a bit of enthusiasm down.
okay.
Faster, more intense.
I would
Yes.
also say, can we avoid calling her Four Eyes? We make fun of her for being stupid or a woman, but not for her glasses. That's
Fair.
too far.
Fair.
We have standards.
Yes. Do we?
Apparently.
I had your back, Pew. No.
Yes, we have standards. Okay, go.
No more pirating Brazil because Sony will take legal action.
Because
Huzzah.
they don't anywhere
Dripping
else.
your arms with the oil. Oh.
Okay, there was a PS4 hack where you can pretty much pirate games to the PS4 for a limited amount of money, but I can understand why they'd want to do this because the PS4 is like way more expensive in Brazil than it is like anywhere else. But it doesn't excuse what you're doing. So just no, you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah, you get in a corner and you think about what you've done.
Seriously.
What you're trying to tell them.
I also have to say, what the hell? You can pirate the games for a limited amount of money. Hey, you know what else you can do? You can buy the games for a limited amount of money.
Well,
I don't know.
it's a lot
I don't
cheaper.
know what it cost in Brazil because I know the system was like ridiculous.
The games are
True.
between $300 and $500, but you can actually get them for $100 from this pirated dude. But don't do that because they already got him, and they can't like sell any more games, and they pretty much tracked anyone else who's trying to do the exact same thing he is trying to do.
Is that 100
So-
US dollars?
It says the dollar signs here. Oh no, it's an R dollar sign. Sorry. So whatever R dollar sign is, I don't know what the currency is, but R dollars.
Challenge
That's R.
accepted. Well, let's go on this bandwagon. Get some money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be funnier if they had a way to pirate the console and then buy the games.
That would be so fucking cool.
Yeah, so seriously, your console will get bricked if you did buy one and you're pirating the games, which would be really shitty because you spent all this fucking money on a PS4 and then it fucking gets bricked and then you can't play any games and you've just pretty much just killed yourself. You wasted all your life savings on something you can never use ever again. Pretty much. It's just like game over. Table flip. So, yeah, don't pirate anymore in Brazil because you will get bricked and you'll just be wasting a shit ton of money. And pretty much don't waste any money trying to pay to get your game jailbreaked because not only will you lose your money probably because the guy will still take your money or someone will, but you won't get any games out of it. So
Story of the world.
You'll just be paying for nothing, and literally you will get nothing except sadness.
So that's kind of like Jim trying to get a hooker.
He lives in Newburgh, and there's some pretty desperate people. So, like, that's
I'll take your word for
it. To believe.
To be fair, Jim does get hookers now and again. Like, hey, come on, I've got Starcade tickets.
What the fuck is Starcade, by the way? Can someone please tell me what the fuck that is?
It's
He keeps harping on about it. I still haven't got a clue what the fuck it is.
Basically, it's a group that does small musicals.
most of their stuff is crap, but once in a while they produce a good original one.
And the reason that joke happened is because he's going to one with Pew, so I was making out she was a hooker.
Oh, fuck you.
Buy him dinner and a movie first.
I like Richter got the joke, but she didn't.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I can't decide if you should have explained it or not. I don't know what's funnier. Or explain it in like 6 years, and she's like, "What?
What?
This whole time?" Whoa.
Yeah. This whole time I insinuated you were a hooker.
Yes.
Shocker.
And she was like, no, you did exactly what my business card does.
Well, she's not denying it. Okay.
I'm kidding. We all know she had a business card just say her name and then underneath I exist. It wouldn't tell them what she does. It just say I exist.
Awesome.
She'd like no effective help now.
Okay, just one final note. If you did buy any illegal games from the PS4, make sure to delete them because Sony has issued a patch that will allow anything that's been illegal on that system. It will brick the system. So if you delete it now, get rid of it before you do the update. Supposedly it won't, brick your system, but no guarantees. But just a little word of advice, so you don't get if you can actually prevent your console getting bricked.
Wonderful. Okay. Fuck it. I'll go next. Just quick shit. Alright. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition has finally got a fucking release date for North America and Europe. Whether or not it's actually going to be on console, stay tuned. Find out later on near the time. It's slated for a release for the 23rd of June, and which I believe is on the same day as Arkham Knight, possibly. So, hopefully it's going to be fucking good.
It's going to be on the same day as Arkham Knight. That's not good for its sales.
I know. I said that when I first found that out. I was like, why would you do that, Capcom? You fucking morons! You're trying to make a profit here.
I would make the case maybe Capcom's doing it to be sneaky.
Maybe.
I can't believe I'm going to have to say this because it sounds like conspiracy theory, but here we go. What if they don't? What if they want this to sell, but they don't want it to sell as much as the DMC remake, so they can say, "Look, the DMC remake's what people want."
And in that case, they are idiots.
Which would prove, but if the DMC remake sells more than this, they can continue the Devil May Cry, the DMC series,
Dear God,
and
I
have
hope
evidence to show that's what fans wanted more.
Sweet baby Jesus of the orphans, I bloody well hope they do not do that. Okay, that is me done, dusted, finito. Chris, your
Yes.
turn, baby boy.
Okay. Basically,
Lego
Lego accidentally leaked an instruction, or uploaded into the leak, but they uploaded an instruction sheet for SAT 71201 for the Lego Dimensions game, which was Back to the Future level pack, which is about 2 assembly instructions and the rest a catalogue of things to come. They've all been shown online with pictures. First, there's 2 level packs. The first one they showed is Portal 2 pack that comes with a Lego shell, a Lego turret, and a Lego companion cube.
Oh.
Then they also announced a Doctor Who level, which will include a tiny TARDIS, a robot dog K9, and Peter, I hope I'm saying this right, Capaldi, the latest incarnation of the Doctor. I don't know what his last name is.
I can't pronounce his last name, so.
What did you say, Rick?
Capaldi? No, I said that the little Lego TARDIS looks amazing.
It does.
When I saw that, I was like, I need to get that for Wife Blade, and then I just got to find a Lego Tom Baker and just swap it, and all of a sudden, poof, it looks way better.
Then we go to the level packs, and they showed Back to the Future, which is weird considering this came from the Back to the Future level pack. Why would this be in there for advertisement?
God
but
knows.
It also showed the Simpsons level packs. I can't wait for the Simpsons one. Team packs of Jurassic World and Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
And fun packs of 3 Lego Ninjago sets, 3 Lord of the Rings sets, 3 Cinema sets, Krusty the Clown, the Wicked Witch, and Unikitty from the Lego Movie.
There is nothing about that lineup that is not awesome.
So add those to the already announced stuff like Wonder Woman with the invisible jet, and I believe there's Cyborg and stuff like that. Words cannot express how awesome this is.
Amen to that, brother.
Now, I will wonder, will Back to the Future's DeLorean or Doctor Who's TARDIS, because they're technically able to go through different time periods and stuff, if you go into them, if you activate them, will you be able to skip into a previous level or something? Like, will it just put you into a random level when you activate them? Like, that's how you go to Jurassic World. But I don't know if that's asking too much of a Lego DeLorean.
You gotta admit, that would be pretty fucking cool.
88.8 miles per hour. That'd be amazing. It's not going that route. Fine, I'll just use my little flash figure and get him to push. Do it in like 2 seconds.
Oh god,
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Like I said, there's like just the amount of combos in this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to tell you, Rick, you could have Shell from Portal 2 team up with Wonder Woman and ride a DeLorean while going down the yellow brick road. What would your mind do?
Explode.
I would think somebody took a bookshelf and knocked it over.
Yeah. You shall not pass as Gandalf. And you're playing as the villain. Okay, I'll just swap me out for the Hulk figure. And Gandalf's like, oh, fuck. Doom, 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 doom. Puny Magneto.
Oh my god.
Boom, a geeky reference. So I believe it would be over to Richter for his last bit of news.
Yes, he's bigger, he's
Sometimes
better.
you save the best till last.
He's bigger, better, bolder, and he's got news for you all. Take it away.
All right, and certainly for me, the most exciting news of the previous week. A couple days ago, Koji Igarashi, the godfather of the Metroidvania-style games and a person who was heavily involved in some of the best, in my opinion, Castlevania games, because they were the Metroidvania style, launched a Kickstarter to basically get, to prove to the company that's going to fund supposedly most of the game already, launched a Kickstarter for Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, which is like a spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony, or it's like the Metroidvania style, and it looks freaking awesome. And so far, he was asking for 500,000. That was the goal. That was made in like a couple hours. Currently, with 30 days to go, it is at 1.8 million.
Whoa.
Which is super cool. And so a lot of the stretch goals that they've already had, there's a hardcover art book if you get the art book set instead of a softcover one. Second playable character, new difficulty, David Hayter voice acting in it, so I'm pretty sure Marcus just needs to change his pants now. Cheat codes, local co-op, I'm totally excited about that, especially with the second playable character. New boss, and a speedrun mode, which I don't care about that. But boss rush mode is at 2 million. But the at 2.25 million, that's what I'm excited for. 2.25 million is an 8-bit level. And there's also he's got this thing's like way too intricate. There's like little achievements that like a number of backers, Twitter followers, and stuff like that. And if it hits certain values, then you like earn stuff that'll like either in the game, or some of it is like it'll show all the stretch goals if there's enough and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And it's digital, well, not digital only, but like the lowest tier where you get a game is $28, and you get a digital copy for Xbox One, PS4, or Steam. And for $60, you get a physical copy that has some exclusive content, and then $100 you get kind of like a special edition, comes with a pin and a keychain and soundtrack and stuff, and it goes up from there. And there's some really cool stuff for it. I really wish I had way more money that I could throw at this for some of these cool ones. Like, was it like I think it's like 5,000 or something like that, and you can develop an enemy, like you design an enemy. 8,500, you can design a secret room. Like, that's awesome.
Nice.
That is really well done, actually.
I will say it looks cool. The game itself does look cool. But I will say what I mentioned to, I believe it might have been Rick or it might have been Marcus last week with the other one of the Banjo-Kazooie one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why do video gamers accept this? Of like,
awesome.
But it's now a spiritual successor to blank game, and it's just basically the same game but with a palette swap. I'm like, but when it comes to movies, like Christopher Nolan did Inception, a load of people were complaining it was all dark and like The Dark Knight, and I'm like, what the fuck? So what? The Dark Knight was awesome. He doesn't own the rights to Batman, so what? He made something else. And they're like, no, we can't have the same thing, just be a clone. No. But when it comes to video games, like, yeah, clone. I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, how the fuck
two things. One, different audiences. There is, I know that there's a lot of crossover, but two that I would at least really push for is there hasn't been a game like this. Like if there was one last year, like a Castlevania that was this style last year, and then he was doing it, people would be like, oh, we already have that.
That was.
But the last one we got was that downloadable one, which was pretty good, but that was still like 4 or 5 years ago. So like this is a style that people still like, and it's just because I don't think there's anything to fill that void very well. I mean, something like Ori or Axiom Verge, they're pretty much the same thing. It's they hit at a time where there was such a lull that I think they got more famous than they would have normally, just because people were clamoring for that type of game.
Didn't we get a Castlevania game like that like last year or two?
No,
because they did one in the Lords of Shadow universe where it was all side-scrolling Metroidvania, and you had to go back through everything.
The Mirror of Fate, that one was not good though. It wasn't really the same. It was close. It tried to be. I feel like that was the example of doing it wrong. Like it tried to harken back to that, but I don't think he was involved in that, because I don't think he's been at Konami for a while.
Yeah, which is fair enough, and yeah, it may be different audiences, and that is fair enough. It's just like I said, I always see that complaint in other mediums besides video games. Like I saw like Stan Lee made a new comic book, and people were complaining it was too much like Spider-Man when it was for another company, and I'm like, it's Stan Lee. Why would you care? But everyone's like, no, we want them to be original. We don't want them to just copy what they've already done. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, but with video games, they tend to want the same, if that makes sense, which I just find that weird. like I said, the game itself looks great. I just find this trend that's happening now weird, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I don't think it looks like a direct copy. I don't know. Like, I can see definitely where it has a lot of influence from it, and it's definitely supposed to hit the same marks, but I like that it's, I don't know. It seems like it's added stuff besides just a cooler backstory than go kill Dracula.
Again, for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, which like I said, the game itself does look cool though.
Indeed.
It's like a few of these do look cool. My thing with it is, like I said, it seemed weird that we were having so many at once. Like just before this, a few months back, it was all. So how many times did, like you've mentioned in the past, like how often did we get bored of just seeing retro-looking games on the PSN stuff, like PS4, all at once? And now it's like this is the next trend, which means I'm wondering what the trend after this is going to be as well. Which that'd be interesting.
It's going to go back to gritty cover-based shooters.
Probably, yeah.
Nah, it'll be virtual reality.
Now it'll go back to sandbox games, and then it'll go back to everything's a shooter, and then it'll go back to retro.
I hope we don't go back to everything's a shoot. I didn't like that last gen. That was annoying. Although, how weird's that going to be when virtual reality headsets out if that becomes the trend again? And you'll literally just see people paying money to cower in their own room. What are you doing? Chest high walls near me.
You know what? I now want to save some poor schmuck actually doing that, because that would be. Can we put Jeff or Jim through the ringer for that? Because that'd be fucking hilarious.
I want to see what's going to happen if people put the virtual reality headset on and it becomes so engrossed in it that they actually believe what they're seeing is almost real, like virtual reality is supposed to do.
So
and then they get the texture glitches like Assassin's Creed Unity that stretches people for miles. I just want to see that, because if you saw that in real life, like if you walked out the scene, suddenly everyone's face was now like down the road. Yeah, you'd go insane fast.
You have a fucking mental breakdown.
I just want to see them play like something like Legend of Zelda, so they're going up and like poking the walls, trying to figure out which one is hollow so they can bomb it. You just come downstairs, you're like, what are you doing? And someone's just like wearing the headset, just tapping the walls, moving slowly along it, and they're like, what? I'm finding a secret. And you're just like, oh my god, he looks like he's crazy.
Yeah, Pew will wear one of those headsets, take it off after playing Minecraft, and be like, thank God I killed that sheep, and then look down and just see a cat on the floor and be like, no, what have I done? All that furniture now rearranged, where she's punched those couch and rearranged it like Minecraft bricks.
That's what happened, like Nino Kunai. He thought he was freaking going on an adventure, and he just slaughtered like all the local animals.
Well, hooray for that.
But no, I believe it's time for catch-up, Si.
Yeah. All right, let's get back on topic. Okay, for the catch-up, obviously we're gonna go through games that we played this week. So take it away. Who has gone first?
Rick.
Chris. Rick.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
Well, speaking of gritty cover-based shooters, first game I played this week was Order 1886.
Any good?
No, not good.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of films people didn't like.
Yeah, really. It's, oh man. That's, it's very pretty. I'll start with the positives. It's very, very pretty. Which will hinder gameplay. I'll get to that in a second. But and like the story at the way end was actually kind of interesting, but really a lot of just about everything else about it is pretty terrible.
It's pretty terrible, but really pretty.
I think it's really pretty. I kind of like it, the backstory and the end game story, but everything else about it's just horrible. I believe Simon has that exact note from a psychologist.
That was only once.
But
and then I heard only one.
But yeah, it's well, there's so like really one complaint I always heard about, you know, when it was first coming out was like the length. And lengthwise, it felt like a normal, you know, like shooter game campaign. Like that part didn't feel too short. But I mean, it's still short, but it didn't feel as short as people made it sound, made it out to be. There's just zero replay value, so it like once the campaign's done, you're like, oh, okay, like I guess I'll get trophies or whatever, and then you're done. But there's a lot of cutscenes. But a lot of times between the cutscenes is just some of the most boring shit ever. Where it's like cutscene, and then you walk down a hallway, like maybe hold up a lantern to look at and I'm like, what? And it's like minutes of just walking down hallways and stuff, and it's not balanced at all. Like there's a couple points where you just fight like tons of dudes that are just like clown carring out of nowhere, and then it's like back to 5 minutes of walking down a hallway, or then like some of the things you can like pick up objects in the game and like look at them. And like they don't do anything. Like there's a model ship, and you just look at it, and you're like, "What the fuck is this for?" Like they made this. I think they like made it so pretty, and they're like, "We want people to be able to look at stuff," and like, "Oh, let's put it in the game that some objects you can pick up, and you can kind of rotate it in your hand." And I'm like, "What the like?" Pointless. Yeah.
That's going to increase.
Probably.
I was just thinking then, based on what we were joking about a second ago, I was just thinking, won't that increase with games when they do virtual reality headset? Because like if you're in a room on let's say GTA, they'll want you to be able to lift up every single can and bottle to be able to look at it like you would in real life.
Oh,
at some point, it will get to there, but I think the laziness will win out, and it'll still be. I mean,
I think laziness will win out.
Well, think of how powerful systems were, even like the last generation. But there's still places where there's just doors that don't ever open. I mean, like I think Fable 1 might have had windows that could open. I don't remember. I know you could punch them, but like even just. There's places where you can't go in that building, so it'll take a while, but yeah, it'll probably get to that point, and I think they will put in some objects, but it'll be like this, where you go and you're like, oh, that's the special can I can pick up, and you're like, whoa, that's neat, and then there's one next to it, and you're like, oh, I can't interact with that one. Just walk on, and like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it'll probably get like that. I will admit I am looking forward to when they do Project Morpheus for the PS4, so I'm just imagining that with my camera, on my head, obviously on my head, while playing that No Man's Sky, so I can be like, whoa, fucking dinosaurs, yay, run. Oh my god, I'm in a spaceship. I'm in a motherfucking spaceship. And eventually I'll be like, oh my god, I've just explored this entire game for like all day because, oh my god, I'm so engrossed in it. And it'll be a thing where my character just sat down being like, I've wasted my life. In the game, the character will say to me, why are you touching me?
I'm trying to check my inventory.
Yeah.
It's not down your pants.
Yes, it is.
There's equipment down there. But, yeah. I would not recommend anyone play that. It wasn't. Like going through the game necessarily wasn't like the worst use of my time, but I wouldn't recommend anyone else do it. It's not great, and I doubt there's going to be a sequel. It does that like that now, unfortunately. Well, it's been normal for a while where it's like at the end it like teases a sequel, and you're like, no, this isn't going to do well enough. So good job.
So it's kind of just like all the effort for nothing. Really.
It's because that's something that's pretty bad nowadays as well. It's like Ubisoft have mentioned with some of their games that they were bringing out, like Watch Dogs and stuff like that, that they were only bringing them out because they knew they could make a constant series out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, The Order 1886, whatever it was called, if they'd concentrated and made it a great game and the first one had sold, then worry about making it a franchise.
Exactly.
It's sort of like movie logic of, like, for example, Star Wars A New Hope, or just Star Wars as it was originally called. Yeah. Basically, that has an ending. Yeah, they could go places with it, which they did for Empire Strikes Back. Cool. However, it stood alone, and that's why the trilogy would then work branching off it. If it ended with to be continued and it hadn't sold, the audiences feel gypped.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I've always said is, like, make it self-contained, but you can leave, like, especially with Star Wars, like, there were threads that could go somewhere, but it didn't need to. Like, if that's all you had, you would still feel satisfied that you had an experience, and you could see places where it could be expanded, but you didn't, like, need that. And, yes, I definitely agree that games nowadays they're like, oh, I have this big thing planned, and we'll give you this piece. And like, well, if it doesn't sell well, then people that actually liked it just get nothing.
Yeah, it's like I've mentioned. I feel a little worried going forward with movies
Yeah.
as well, because, like, okay, it makes sense for Marvel, it makes sense for DC, but I have a feeling, but because of how much movies Marvel are doing and how many DC are going to do, eventually people are going to get sick of these, and it's just going to end abruptly before they finish the storyline they're planning to do. And it's like, now we're going to have a Transformers expanded universe. Now we're going to have the fucking... What was the other one they were going to do? They were going to do another one that was a big one. I'm like, it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
A load of them don't need to have all of this. Like, Spider-Man, instead of planning Spider-Man and then worrying about Spider-Man 2 and then planning that film out, the reason Amazing Spider-Man 2 sucked balls is they already had plans for Sinister Six straight afterwards. So the whole movie was just basically... didn't need to exist. It was all building to that end scene where they walked past the Sinister Six gear. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's like each movie hypes up the one after it. So, and it feels like there's never, like there's a good chance you'll never get that actual payoff because they keep pushing that back until the point where they're never going to do it. And you're like, oh, thanks. It's giant cock tease, basically.
It's like we said, like straight after...
Simon?
Like we said, straight after Avengers, we should have had Thanos. We should have had the Thanos fight.
Yes.
But no, that's not coming till Infinity Wars. This one was just with Ultron, even though Hank Pym's not established till the next film along. But let's not nitpick this. It's Disney. Everything needs to revolve around Iron Man. That's cool. Except for the part where it's not cool.
Yeah, I was surprised I went to see Ultron just because I was so offended. I was just like, yeah, Thanos, and then it's like, next one, I'll have Ultron, and I'm like, no, that's not how you do this.
That's
wrong.
That seems kind of weird, and like with Marvel's films, I'm not saying they're all terrible. They're not. I do enjoy a lot of those films before people think I'm being overly critical, but the fact they've already told us we're not going to see the payoff for Thanos till the end of Phase 3.
Yeah.
Go back and add up how many years it was from Avengers till then, and how many films there was, and how much money you had to spend on it. And if you count the shitty TV show, which I say you don't need to watch, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but
you don't actually.
Yeah, because I had that discussion with Jim the other day where he's like, and this is a slight spoiler, he's like, well, it does totally spoil part, it does help with Age of Ultron. I'm like, oh, he goes, yeah, like there's a scene where Nick Fury has the helicarrier. And I'm like, cool. And he's like, now in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm like, I don't need that explained. He's like, what do you mean? It's Nick fucking Fury. He'll have a contingency plan. It's like if Batman disappears at the end of the film, the next movie, if he shows up in the Batwing, I'm not going to be like, wait a minute. It's fucking Batman. He's had time to plan. And then like, it helps. I'm like, no, that's just overly explaining things. That's midi-chlorians.
Yeah. It's like that's one of the, there's no stretch of the imagination there. You don't have to be like, well, what could have happened? No, you just, why wouldn't he be able to get one? It totally be like, you don't need the explanation. It doesn't seem unreasonable that he would just do that.
We're not all fucking morons, just most of us.
Yeah.
But I also worry, as you were saying, that like with how much money you have to spend, I feel like I want to see the Thanos fight and stuff. I like the Infinity War, but I almost feel like I have to see all these movies I might not necessarily want to, because otherwise, I feel like they'll bring it up and I'll be like, what was that there for? Like you kind of feel you have to. Like, I think I'm okay so far skipping Iron Man 3, but sometimes they brought something up, but luckily I know someone that has seen it, so they're like, oh, that's Iron Man 3. I'm like, oh, okay.
Iron Man 3 was just fun because like an unnecessary amount of people died and explosions equal fireworks because
like I'll be honest, I hadn't seen Thor 2 because I didn't have an interest in it.
I haven't seen that either.
And I never saw Captain America 2 because I really didn't like the first one. However, I know people would have liked that. I've just recently, because I know someone who's got them, borrowed them to watch them this week because I'm like, well, I kind of want to see them before I go to see Avengers 2. Just because otherwise it's sort of like with comic book events where like you can't really just go and read fucking Civil War without seeing the build-up for why this happened. It's like you mentioned, like something's going to come up, but we're going a little off topic with this. But
yeah, this should have been the topic. Anyway.
This should have been the topic. Movies on XGR.
Yes. Well,
Oversaturation
stuff
the
will
market.
eventually portray to games. I mean, it already is starting to.
Yeah, we'll just call it oversaturating the market, aka the Guitar Hero effect.
Oh man, I can't wait in 4 years when we're saying that again. Actually, 3 years. Fuck it.
Yep. But I believe it's your second game.
Yes, my second game. My second game was Xenoblade Chronicles on 3DS.
Nice.
I think they call it Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. But I do have the original on the Wii. I played it for like a couple hours. But I just and I liked the game, but the control was kind of weird. So I was just like, oh, I might as well buy it again on 3DS for no reason. It helps justify getting the new one. But and I was able to finagle it for cheaper, so I was excited about that. But it's pretty cool. I've played it, I don't know, maybe like 8 hours so far. The one thing I'm not too crazy about is it's very much modeled after an MMO. So, you know, like you get this big area to explore and you like wander around, and sometimes there's enemies that it's like, you know, most of the guys are like 13, and then there's like a big dude who's like 76, and you're like, this guy shouldn't be here. Like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want to have to remember to come back here.
Yeah, it's just like real life. I don't want some creepy 76-year-old dude hanging around like 8-year-olds.
Yeah. But they also have like tons of quests. So, like, you talk to this dude, and he's like, hey, and they're not even like named people. Like, there are named people. Like this, you know, like there's a lady. It's like her name's Marie, and you're like, okay, but you go by, and the one guy's like, you know, like citizen, and you're like, oh, okay. But like those people tend to have the quest, which is weird. And the guy's like, oh, I need you to go kill these rabbits for me. You're like, okay. And then you start to walk away, and he has an exclamation point. You're like, what? And you go talk to him, and he's like, hey, thanks for wanting to hunt those rabbits. I also want some bats. And you're like, what? And you have to like, some people will give like 4 quests, and I'm like, like it just seems weird. Like they're just like, this guy gives quests. They just pile them on that guy. But combat's pretty cool, although there are times where it's like there are a couple like really close fights. Like you'll fight like a special enemy. It's like level 10. You're like 13. You're like, yeah, this should be fine. And you like get by the skin of your teeth, and you're like, wow. You like have to know what you're doing to do it, which is kind of nice, but also sometimes kind of sucks if you just kind of want to like chill out and just, you know, grind out some levels. And sometimes it's just stuff will pop up. You're like, oh, go here, this quest. Go look in this treasure chest, and you go, and then like it spawns like a level 18 dude behind you, and you're like 15. You're like, well, I didn't, you know, you could have warned me. But when you die, it just respawns you somewhere else. So it feels very MMO-y, which...
How does it compare to the Wii one? Because I hadn't played the Wii one, so I was generally wondering. You know, like sometimes there's bad ports, but then also like I know Ocarina of Time 3D and stuff were meant to be really well done, so I didn't know.
As far as I've heard, because I played the Wii one a while ago, I know it controls better. I'll say that much, because even though because the original one, like I did have the classic Pro, but you know it was still hooked up to the Wii remote, and you just gotta like leave that dangling somewhere. But I've heard it's a really good port from people that have like extensively played both of them. Although there was a problem with sometimes the sound would cut out, but they had a patch when I bought it, which is supposed to fix that, and I have not noticed it.
So if it controls better because of the dangling thing, let's just assume this is one of the ones that they end up bringing to the Wii U store as a digital one you can download on the Wii U, and then you can use the Pro Pad. How would that compare? You know what I mean? I know it may sound weird, but
it'd be fine. If you'd probably want both screens, because the bottom screen does kind of help, because that's where it puts like the health and stuff. Actually, if you could I'd say that one thing that does kind of hurt it is the smaller size of the screen, because the HP and that stuff's like on the bottom screen. So sometimes you're like watching the action, and there's a little bar above their head, but sometimes I would glance down, you know, to try to see how much they have, to see if I need to heal them or not. So it's kind of like weird that like you need to pay attention to the battles, because they're very like they're not action battles, but you have to be paying attention a lot, because it's like an MMO, so you have to like activate skills. There's basically cooldowns. So I think it would, if there was like a downloadable version, if you could play it on like an actual TV, but if I don't think they'd recode it, if that makes sense, to where it would have the HP on there. But if they had, let's say, instead made because some Wii games, you can download. If they made like a download of that game, that'd probably be better than to play on the Wii U versus if you could like play the 3DS one on the Wii U. I don't know if that answered your question or if I made that way convoluted.
Yeah, that's what I was on about, because I know they've done like Punch Out Wii on the Wii U, so I was like, oh, cool. What if they did Xenoblade on the Wii U as a download? How would that compare?
So all in all, pretty good.
Yeah,
yes, it is good.
Which that
3D effect is okay.
Which, when you mentioned the second screen, I was just thinking of Monster Hunter on Wii U. Before I figured out I could do this, when I had the health, or not the health, the mini map and shit on the pad, and I had my pro pad. I'm like, oh crap! I have to keep looking down at the second screen. I'm like, wait a minute, I could put on the TV off and fuck. So I understood. I understood that. And I was like, thank God they let me do that.
Who's next, by the way?
That's up to you, Mrs. Host.
Oh yeah, Chris, do you want to go next?
I don't know. How Pew should I go next, or did you want to go?
You can go if you want. It's fine.
Okay. My 2 games this week, and this is really weird, because like I said, I fall into a weird spectrum on games, but Just Dance 2014 and Angry Birds Star Wars, which I will go through these two. The reason I say I fall into that weird spectrum, Rick, is as you've seen with some of the games I play and stuff, I find it weird that, because I know you can do this as well, I'm one of those gamers that has no problem playing something like Angry Birds Star Wars, but then also going straight onto Elder Scrolls. whereas some gamers like, no, you should only play hardcore games. I'm like, no, I'm a gamer. I like all games.
Play whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck off. I can get as much enjoyment out of something like Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics as I can out of a fucking like Mass Effect or something.
That was so good on you.
But Just Dance 2014 first. There is a video up of me on the Gaming Zone channel dancing. I believe everyone here has checked that out. What it does in that, which Marcus noticed at first, because he's like, wait a minute, why aren't you matching the actual rhythm? I'm like, it's just a highlight. They took snippets and put it together like the WWE clip and then just played the song. I love the song collection on this. I went through it with Marcus via SharePlay just to show him the songs, and even he said, whoa, this is like the most eclectic list I've ever seen. Like all-encompassing, because you have on there stuff like Katy Perry's Raw as a free downloadable content, which I totally downloaded. Then you also have stuff like Prince Ali from Aladdin. You have Ghostbusters. You have songs by the guy who's famous for only doing Gangnam Style. You have one of his songs that isn't Gangnam Style. And then I know. Well, that was my response. I was like, oh, it's him. Oh, it's not Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, and you know what I mean, and you got like that, like Careless Night or Careless Whisper, whatever it's called, and you got songs like various. There's even the Flash Dance one from Footloose.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, and it's all on one playlist. I'm like, that's awesome. Now, some people would say, why am I playing the 2014 one, not the 2015 one? But A, the 2014 one was on sale.
I bet it was.
And B, the 2015 one has songs like Frozen. Sorry, Aladdin's better.
This is true.
This one actually had better songs, right? And now I will admit the camera doesn't accurately read my movements. Like sometimes it's saying I did well when I didn't. Other times it's saying I did poorly when I did really well. And
I don't think that happens often, but it's cool.
Actually, that is like I did the movement and it comes up camera not detected.
Really?
Yes, it's done that before now.
Weird.
Yeah, it's apparently I looked and apparently that's a common error, but I'm okay with this because it sort of balances out. And apparently you can play the game just sat down if you wanted to, nodding your head, but there's actually a sweat mode where I can turn it on and I can do like 10, 20 minutes worth, which I did that the other day. I'd been out all day, I came back and I literally did that. And when I spoke to Marcus on Skype and all he hears is me just sat there being like, I'm fucking dead. He's like, what do you mean? Well, I did physical stuff all day, and he's like, yeah. When I came home, I decided to do a workout on Just Dance on the sweat mode. He's like, why would you do that? I'm like, I didn't know what that mode was. I'm like, I'm probably going to discuss this on XGR. I kind of want to know what this mode does.
What do you do exactly?
it speeds up the songs and it does them in more of a, instead of the traditional slow version of the song, some of them the dance movements don't match the song. Instead they're sped up to make it like a workout, and like you do like 3 or 4 songs in a continuous manner, and it's basically at the end of it, it is a nice little workout. I kind of like that. And there's also various versions too. Like there's the Prince Ali one, which basically has all the characters from Aladdin on there, just people dressed as them, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Then
his dance style is pretty awesome for some of those things.
Yeah, have you seen the Aladdin one yet, Rick?
I have not seen that one, no.
Oh, I should totally share play that eventually and let you see that. But then they also have a remix version where it's basically like various dancers in that one, and it goes through loads of different people. Like there's an Egyptian woman who's like from the Katy Perry song, and she's like doing all this like slow, more stylized dancing. When it cuts to a guy who looks like Simon with his hat on, and then he's doing more like slightly more like a break dancing, fancier movement, and it goes to another guy, he's doing different movements. And I'm like, this is amazing. I like that. 2 different versions, but it's the same song. And then if you add the sweat feature and stuff, various versions, Just Dance 2014, pretty cool.
Nice.
But the next one was Angry Birds Star Wars, which I totally played with Pew.
Yay! That was one of my games.
Okay, well, did you want to talk about that? Because I went way too much onto Just Dance territory, so I'll let you take over with your 2 with that one, and I'll just chime in when I need to.
Okay, that was actually surprisingly super fun, because the only Angry Birds I ever played was when I was at Sears and Electronics department, and sometimes when I'm just walking around in my like 5-minute break, which you can't really do anything anyway, and you move your hands around the smart TV, and you kind of sort of do it like by just moving your hands or whatever, and I'm like, this is super shit. Well, it's not exactly super shit, it's just that control was super shit, like in moving your hands on that TV that Sears was trying to sell. So, but this was actually really fun, and I like that there's different birds that like can do different stuff. And I don't know, this might be like a thing that any Angry Birds can do, but like I hadn't never played it. And I like that there were like Star Wars versions. Like I love the Chewbacca one. Oh, that's my favorite. Oh, Chewbacca bird.
Yeah, there is ones in other Angry Birds that do various, like each bird, if it's a different shape, does a different thing. But I did love the fact on this one, they're Star Wars themed. Like you get a lightsaber, a force push, Chewbacca, like you mentioned. R2-D2 can electrocute things, and it sends electricity up the whole stage. And it's like, that's just wonderful. I don't know why. It's just amazing. Like you can play as Han Solo, and you get like a laser where you go doom, and you have to get to fire like a gun. It's wonderful.
I also really like the whole gravity thing in here. I feel like I was like almost doing like puzzle stuff. Like with the whole gravity, like and seeing how like you go up around one and then turn around another planet when you go on that one's gravity, and you just like figure out how to get all the things.
Yeah, I also love no 2 shots are really the same because it's physics based, and I've done that. I'd like some of the levels I did with you, Pew. I also went through with James and Marcus, and each time was different how they went through. Like even when I took the exact when I took what I thought was the exact same shot, which it wouldn't, it'd be off by like a slight degree. The shot's completely different, and I like that. It's so physics-based. It is wonderful. I know people always poo-poo Angry Birds, but it's kind of fun. And I am looking forward to later on this year the fact Angry Birds Transformers is supposed to be coming to PS4. I will be buying that.
So many shots where I had to just laugh my ass off because I would do the almost exact same shot, but then like sometimes with the gravity pulls and stuff, you just see like the bird just go out off, or it's a bird you're shooting, right? Yeah, you're shooting the pigs. I had to make sure, sorry, which one was shooting the other one, but they're like Star Wars people, so they don't even look like birds that much.
What's it called?
It's called Angry Birds, but one of them is angry because there's another animal involved as well. So. The pigs aren't mentioned, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could be angry since I killed a bunch of them.
I'll break it down for you, Pew. If a game's called something, that's who you play as. Like Legend of Zelda, you play as Zelda.
Fuck off.
In his little green outfit.
Fuck off. Anyway, so basically, when you miss like with the gravity thing, they just go offline in space forever. And here I'm thinking in like like a space odyssey that that's just gonna happen to them now. They're just flying off like, okay, goodbye, enjoy the rest of your life until you die of starvation, like or like thirst, because they just fucking go off, and it's like so funny, like how sometimes like you just like figure out like the most epic ways to like fail. Like there will be ones where I shot the same shot, which was amazing, but then this one, not only do I get like shot by one of the enemy like pig things, but then like I accidentally hit like another one, and then he gets shot like 3 times before he dies, and it's just like so funny. Like
Yeah,
I enjoyed my good moments as much as I enjoyed my terrible ones because they were just equally amazing.
Yep, I do like the stormtrooper ones firing the laser and stuff. I should totally share play that with Rick if he's not played Angry Birds Star Wars. He needs to see that.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
Are you gonna get the Transformers one as well, Rick?
If it were, last time I looked on my phone, it wasn't available, which made me sad because I do want to try it.
Apparently, it's coming in on PS4 and Xbox One at the end of the year, so I'm gonna have to buy that on PS4 eventually. Not at the end of the year, because PS4 owners, in my opinion, with Angry Birds games get ripped off.
Yeah.
Like this game, as cool as this game was, I'm glad it was on sale for £6, unlike when I bought it on PS3 for 30. But it's like when I bought it on PS4, I've seen it in the store on PS4 for like £30-40, and you can buy the exact same stuff on a phone for like 10.
Yeah, I think mine was free. I think you can buy stuff, but I didn't buy anything. I just played it.
Nice.
But yeah, they shouldn't be 40 when they launch. 10 would be, like, I think just right.
Yep.
So the second game I played was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Guess what? My friend Cody got it to work on my computer. Yay!
Nice. He really is having a sweet life.
Oh my god. Are you gonna say that every time?
Yes.
No. Sometimes I will correct you and say Stardust.
What the fuck is Stardust?
Nice.
I think you already mentioned it like 3 times, but I keep forgetting what it is. Is it a wrestler thing?
It's someone who now has Simon as a gimmick.
Okay, so it is a wrestling thing. Alright, anyway, so Knights of the Old Republic, super awesome. I like it a whole lot. I like the combat because it's like pause and I get to like map out everything and then continue. That's really cool because I can be like shield, attack, do this attack. And I don't like this fucking Jedi chick that I have because she's really weak. Supposedly that's going to be explained. I didn't need to be explained. I would just accept that she's a fucking weak Jedi chick and that's it.
No, you were saying it was why is she weak compared to you, and I'm like, it's going to be explained why you're powerful. There's a difference.
Oh, why I'm powerful? I thought I was like normal, and she was like a really shitty Jedi. So that's what I thought. Like she was like out of the rank of the Jedi. She's like shitty Jedi, and here's a good Jedi.
Does she have a name? Or...
No, Bastila.
Yay, Bastila. Bastila's.
She's such a stupid bitch. I hate her.
I'm not going to tell you what that was, though, because that is a major spoiler, and I want to.
I don't want to know.
I want to hear your reaction the first time you experience that.
Okay. Yeah, she's such a stupid bitch. Like, and she like sucks at like everything. I kind of replaced her with Chewbacca and gave him the lightsaber that she had. So yeah.
Sometimes when people's like, yeah, she's just like this weird-looking chick that's completely useless and doesn't do anything. No, sometimes I'm just gonna let these go. They're too easy.
Yeah, so I gave Chewbacca her lightsaber, and that's worked out a whole lot. I also like her. What do you call it? Twi'lek. I forget what her name is. Yeah, that's her name.
Stupid mission. Okay.
No, she's not. But Mission's cool. I like her.
I will say I'm surprised Simon's been quiet. I know he loved Knights of the Old Republic.
So I like her. Yeah, her and Chewbacca is pretty much my go-to team. And if I had to switch it up, I use.
That's racist. I just want to say.
Oh yeah, fuck humans. I hate humans in like games with.
No, that's not Chewbacca. You're just saying that they all look alike.
Yeah, they all look like I'm super racist. See, that's the thing. I know his name is like Zalabar or something, and she calls him Big Z, but he's Chewbacca. I'm sorry, I am super racist against Wookiees. They're all Chewbacca. I'm like, hey, Chewbacca, go talk to Chewbacca.
Oh, come on. Leave Big Z alone. Come on, it's a new day.
I don't know what that means, so.
It just
Okay.
means the world has moved on.
They're all Chewy.
We don't have to be
all
racist.
of them are Chewy. I once in a while
Only
I'll
if
call
they're
him Z.
copyright.
But I can't help it. I just call them all Chewbacca. I am super Wookiee racist.
And I just noticed Simon's also logged off Skype, so I couldn't send him an IM. I think he's fallen asleep.
Okay. So, yeah.
That's what
Super Wookiee racist, and the only other thing is I use that stupid robot thing, which I don't really like, but I have to use it to get rid of shields.
Okay, you need to really finish that sentence. Which stupid robot thing?
The first one, the one that doesn't
the little
like,
R2 guy?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. If you were talking smack about HK-47,
See, people keep
I'd
mentioning
totally
that
kill
when I
you.
say robot,
I
but
will
like, so I'm
say-
guessing
I
I'm
will
getting
say,
another
Rick,
robot eventually.
I will say, Rick, I believe you'll find that robot is not from the R2 series of Android.
oh,
Yeah,
which
I
the
think
one
it's
in
like
I don't
M4
He's
something.
a little beepy one. He's a good thief, but I mean, I use him, but I
A
don't like him.
thief? What?
I will say I'm kidding, because if it's a small one like that on wheels, I'm sorry, it's R2
it's an
basically.
R2,
It's the game's version of R2D2.
Yeah, the only reason I used him is to make another droid's shield drop, and then I got rid of him. So yeah, but he doesn't get status effects, so that's cool too, because he can like hack or not hack, take back the mines, and a lot of other people suck at it, so like they make themselves get sick and stuff, but he doesn't, so that's cool. So like, yeah. But so like I said, a lot of people mentioned the HK whatever, which my friend told me was like the Bender before Bender or something.
He's awesome.
Yeah, like so I'm guessing I'm getting another robot eventually, but not this one. And you know what? This stupid bitch gave me another robot and it blew up my face, and I made her give me credits or I was gonna burn her place down.
I can tell
I'm
you're a
sorry,
light side Jedi.
Oh, I actually am a light side Jedi, but I think one out of every 7 actions I do is a dark side one.
Nice.
Like I get 6 good ones and then 7. But she fucking just stole me something that blew up as soon as I left her shop. Seriously?
Yeah.
You couldn't even make it outside the shop or out of sight where you had some chance of getting away with this? Really?
I will also say, when you play through Knights of the Old Republic 1, if you play through the less good one of 2, you will definitely see by the end of 1, 2, that, let's face it, Mass Effect 1 was basically Knights of the Old Republic when they lost the license.
Mm-hmm.
Which, because I like pointing that out, only because everyone's like, the Mass Effect series is so unique and awesome. It's like, come on, give props to the Knights of the Old Republic series. Knights of the Old Republic 1 is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, I can totally see like a lot of the stuff. Although I have to ask, is Mission the only Twi'lek that speaks English?
I believe many of them do.
Because like all the ones I think I've went up to, all of them, she's the only one so far that speaks English.
Yeah, I say many of them do because they're normally scattered across the galaxy and they have been sold normally as slaves and stuff, so it depends where they are and who they've got and stuff like that. It depends on what they've been trained to do.
Yeah, well, I like her. She's pretty cool and like super stealth and stuff. So that's cool because I'll like have sometimes when I have a whole bunch of guys, I'll like have her stealth up and then set a whole bunch of landmines, and then I'll be like, "Hey, guess what? I'm here." And be like, "You're here. Let me run toward and get you." And then they blow up after all the mines, and it's awesome. It's like I didn't have to do anything at all. They just ran and blew themselves up, and it's like, haha.
Nice.
It's like, hey, look, there's your legs over there. Haha, you did that. That's great.
And I will double check. Are you here, Simon? Yes or no, Simon? Because if not, I believe as host I can just eject him.
Should leave him in the hanging forever.
Boom.
Okay. They're now 10% less fabulous.
I I did that because if he's asleep, I don't want to risk him keying up and then snoring by mistake.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, that'd be funny.
But I shall say,
Who did that? The gym or something did that one?
I've heard him do that once, yeah. But I will say, yeah, I will say, it's time to go on to our topic, which is digital versus physical, which we have discussed that in the past, but we decided to reopen this one because various things this gen have changed this. So, who would like to go first?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll go first. One of the big changes I think that's affected this gen is last gen. One of the big issues between downloading the game or buying the game on the disc was if you download the game, it's using up your hard drive space. This gen, inserting the disc uses up your hard drive space equally, so it's lost that element. However, I will still say there is still a pro to buying physical, and that is if you go to the shop, the physical store, and you purchase it with obviously cash or credit or whatever you want to do, and then come home with it or whatever. You do have to think if you don't have to wait for downloads, and you're also supporting an actual store. So because more things go digital, the more stores close down, sadly. But I would also make the case, which I can hear you banging around.
That's not me. It's my cat going fucking crazy.
Fair enough. But I will say, yeah, like I said, you've got those, which I would say they're probably the only benefits I personally can see to physical nowadays, besides trading it in. So there's free. Because digital, you can download it, and every game is now a midnight launch, because at midnight you can now play the games. You've got them on the hard drive, so they run faster, but I don't know. That might just be me. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I think nowadays, unfortunately, they, as you said, you have to install the physical ones, which is really annoying. But but I think that's because, at least on the Xbox side, I'm pretty sure it's because it wasn't designed to have physical media. So unfortunately, that's the byproduct of it. But
I wasn't sure if I'd be like the PS4, where I get the sense installing the disc is A, because it makes it run faster, and B, probably on the Xbox side as well. Wasn't it supposed to have the discs, but once you installed it, they were going to be copy protected, which they didn't. It's still not, people, because I still see people say that that's a thing. That wasn't a thing before the console even came out. What the fuck?
Well, I know originally they didn't even want to put in the drive. The optic, like they designed it to just be like no discs or whatever, and I think that's the holdover from it. But I would say that one thing that doesn't usually, well, that I don't see get brought up that much with digital is, yes, it's super convenient, that's awesome, but I know some people have had problems with pre-order of digital stuff. Like on PSN and stuff, there were some people that pre-ordered, like Bloodborne was the one I remember, or one of the ones I remember, where it was supposed to come with some like bonus item or like that, or sometimes if you pre-order like a season pass for a game and it won't like unlock properly because you've done it in advance, or I don't know what it is, but like there's still some issues for some people where they've paid for something and they can't get it, and you can't like return it to a store. And as Mole knows, when trying to deal with digital stuff, sometimes they will shunt you off to the other company. Where Sony's like, "Oh, it's not our problem. That's From Software or whoever, Bamco, I think they published Bloodborne or something." They'd be like, "Oh, that's their fault," and then you call them and they're like, "No, it's on Sony's end." And so they're like, where I paid $20 for something and I have nothing. So,
yeah, that was annoying with those Mortal Kombat easy fatalities. Well, I will say, just to obviously play devil's advocate, I will also say you can get as much errors with physical stuff, because I had that with, which one was it? It wasn't last two. I think it was WWE. Oh, what the fuck was it called before it was 2K? WWE 14, I think, or 13, or whatever the hell it was, before it was 2K, because it was the one, with the Austin edition. I pre-ordered the Austin edition because I wanted all the characters and stuff. Yeah. My brother pre-ordered the Austin edition, which was the exact same thing, but you got Austin as a pre-order bonus. It came to us. He didn't have the codes. He went back to the store and said, sorry, we've sold out. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. I go to my game. We unwrap my game. I look inside my instruction booklet, and I had 3 codes. So I gave one to him, and I gave one to Crispy. And I'm like, fuck it. No, why not? But that shouldn't be a thing. Like, I had that with Star Wars Galaxies as well, of people entered the code on the box to make, so when I kept buying the digital one with first, well, I'll just say the physical one at first with Star Wars Galaxies, I kept having to go back to the game store, swap it, come back, go back, take it, swap it, come back, because some little shit had used a key gen on and managed to do it on all of the fucking shipment that had come out. So that literally none of their games worked. They had to say, they mentioned in the end that they sent back a whole shipment and got a new shipment of the game because, yeah, they were having nothing but complaints about that not working. Mm-hmm. Which, fucking key gens.
Yeah.
I hate key gens for stuff because it's got to the point where when I buy a game, before I play the game, I have to redeem all my codes and stuff like that, just because I know if I leave it an extra hour, that might be an hour where some little fucking key gen's got my code.
So Victor kind of mentioned it, but another thing with the digital ones, I don't have to leave my house sometimes, and that's really cool, because I don't like leaving my house.
It's called Amazon.
I know, but then, like, because my, mailbox is actually quite a distance from my house, and I still have to walk and get it. And when I say that, I mean, like, not, like, walking 10 feet, but, like, I live on a private road, so I have to, like, walk all the way down to the other road, so it's, like, half a mile.
In my mind, I'm still picturing it 10 feet from your front door.
It's like half a mile.
The window. That's so far. There could be bears.
It's a private road.
Amazon,
they have
just
to put
leave
it
it at my window.
But I will say, Pew, don't you work weekdays?
I do.
Games are released on a Tuesday, so if you pre-ordered it from Amazon on your way to work, couldn't you just stop and open up the mailbox and get your game out?
I do on my way home, and it's annoying, and I don't like it.
She wants a drive-through mailbox.
I do it sometimes, but not like all the time.
I'm a fat guy and I'm wincing at her laziness.
I finally actually did get Amazon for most of the time to leave it at my doorstep, which is really cool. But only the stuff through UPS comes. If some things ships just regular USPS, then it goes to the mailbox.
To be fair, Pew, in defense of physical stuff, Amazon are doing a thing soon, if you remember, those drones where it can come to your house and drop to your door in 30 minutes.
That would make me very happy. But another thing I do like about physical ones is that, like, with digital ones, you can return it, man. I get, like, this is shit. It was broken. Or, like, or I can get at least trade-in value and be like, I'm done with this. Give me at least $7 back or something. I don't care. Give me $1. I don't care. I want some kind of profit and not go away with nothing. Because I have gotten so many freaking new games, like pretty much for almost nothing, because they all got paid for by other older games that I traded in. So, like, that is like a super mega big awesome bonus for that.
Yeah, which I will say, like I mentioned in the past, trading absolutely fine. Taking it back to the store and just getting your money back because you didn't enjoy the game, I always feel is not what that's supposed to be for.
No, that's not okay.
I'm always like that.
Well, I would say in certain really rare circumstances, like Duke Nukem Forever or Aliens Colonial Marines, I would be okay with something like that. If somebody's like, this game is shit, be like, yeah, I know it is, sorry. Like, I know when I worked there, I was like, well, we can't take it back, nothing I can do, but
see,
I kind of wish you could on like some that are just super fucking terrible.
Oh, I agree. Those games were terrible. I had both of them. I will say I did take them and trade them in instead of the other thing, which I could have turned around and just lied and said it was broke. To which they would have just looked at me and probably been like, "We're going to accept this," but.
Yeah, but that's one of the things I really like about physical. Another thing I like about digital, though, is like my freaking Skyrim thing. That's gonna take like 6 billion years to download.
One thing I do like about physical as well, though, is let's say I bought, let's say I bought Xenoverse, which I did. And let's say I got the physical one, which I did. Now let's say I lived right next door to Richter, which I don't. But let's say like next door to Richter, I could be like, okay, I completed this game now, and I'm now Batman Arkham Knight, so I'm playing that. Hey, here you go, Rick, and I could just hand him my disc. He can take it to his house, and he can be all smiles as he pops it in and sit there as he makes himself, and he'll be like, yay, yay, fun. That's not literally what Richter does when he plays games. He doesn't just sit there the whole time going, yay, yay, fun. But no, it's a case of, and I like that fact. Like, in our house, we have 2 PS4s. I like the fact we can just lend games to each other if we need to. Like, I'm sure, like, Richter's got, like, Richter had, like, 2 PS3s. I'm sure that came inconvenient for Richter with the physical one if he could use it on either of his systems.
Yeah.
Like, technically, I suppose you could download them to either of your systems. You can. But that's fucking that's ridiculous.
That's one thing I do like, though, for digital, at least on the PlayStation side, because you're allowed to have it on like 2 systems or whatever. So, like for what was that? The Borderlands 1, when that, well, I guess number 2 also did it, but when it was like a PlayStation Plus game. You know, like I didn't need 2 discs. I could do if I had a disc, I could do, you know, split screen. But if my wife and I wanted to play like full screen, we could do that because I could just download it on both systems. And then because it's on the, you know, it's tied to the account, but you're allowed it on 2, she can be on her profile. And as long as my profile's on the same system, it'll be like, oh, someone on this system owns the game. So I think that's actually a really cool function. Sometimes I kind of wish. Like Diablo 3 on PS3 that I had done that because I think it would have been interesting to have it like not split screen, but
that makes sense. And yeah, that is another benefit as well. If you own multiple systems with multiple people, you could totally do that, which that does help with digital as well. It's like with the physical one as well. One of the less advantages I feel with a physical one is, let's say someone breaks into my house and steals my stack of games. Insurance companies don't pay for every one of those games. They'll either replace what they can, or they'll give you a check for like under the amount.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if someone broke in and stole my PS4 and I replaced my PS4, I can add my account, explain to Sony that my previous one was stolen or something, and they'll just send it to my email so I can change my password, log on to my PS4 and just re-download my shit, and I've got all my games again.
Yeah, I think one of the best positives for digital is just how how convenient it is. Because sometimes, you know, I don't know if it's Stacy levels of lazy, but sometimes I don't want to like change a disc. You know, sometimes you're like, you want to play something for like a couple minutes, or
me walking half a mile is fucking lazy, but you not wanting to change a disc, that's not lazy? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's really far from my couch. No, but
to be fair, Richter also has kids, so not swapping discs with kids around who can't make up their minds, as kids tend to not be able to do. And like 1 minute it'll be Minecraft, and the next minute they want to go on something else, and back to Minecraft, and something else. It stops the disc being scratched from kids taking them and damaging them.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh, good lord! How often he switches games on PS3. Like he'll play like the demo for like 20 minutes, then he'll play something else for 20 minutes. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to have to switch discs for
that's why I've wanted. That's why for the longest time I wanted like a PS4 with one of those built-in disc changes like the DVD players had.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
One bad thing as well with digital, I feel, is, and I don't know if it's the same with PSN or what. I can hear myself echoing through someone. I think it's maybe Pew.
Is it?
I don't know. I just heard myself. Yeah, it's gone now. But it was a case of with digital stuff. I know like iTunes had this in place and stuff. I think people have been fighting it, so it might change. But hopefully this doesn't happen. But let's say poor little Richter is walking himself down the street one day, and he's crossing the road going from GameStop when he sees like a lovely florist across the road and thinks, oh, they sell Wife Blade's favourite flowers, I need to go pick up some flowers, that'll make her day. And a bus hits him. Richter now dies. his kids will not be able to play those games because you can't inherit people's counts.
Yeah.
Sorry for painting that horrible picture, Rick, of your own time.
I was about to say, I think they'd have other concerns rather than playing the games, you know?
No, I can't.
I
play
wouldn't.
Minecraft.
I would be sad that they couldn't. I'd be like, no, that was my legacy. Play the games. That's what I would want.
Yeah.
The games
Yeah.
are my legacy, not you.
That's right. One day you'll understand.
Yeah, but to be fair, the kids would be upset, obviously, that Richter died, as with Wifeblade. But eventually, they're going to want to play on Minecraft, or eventually they're going to want to play on something that he has on his account. But legally, once you're declared dead, all your digital accounts are supposed to end, and then you can't inherit them. Whereas if Richter was to die now, and his kids could easily inherit all his physical discs.
Yep.
Hopefully, Richter doesn't die. I will just say that for the record.
Yay.
Pew,
Hope
no
you
such
don't
promise.
die. I think you kind of hope the opposite.
Just a tiny drop.
He's hoping you get famous enough that it'll sort itself out.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I would fucking gut him like a friggin'
Like-
pig.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say fish, like most people would do that
I
sentence.
did too. I will get you
Well, I was
like a
thinking
pig,
pig
boy.
because that way at least, you know, like I could feed it to people.
Yeah, because no one eats fish. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
wanna-
less people eat
We'll just be
fish.
hungry an hour later.
More people eat fish. Even vegetarians eat fish.
Less people that I know eat fish.
Well, you needed to know a better class of person.
Apparently.
That aren't just like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm going to eat? What's that? I'm only going to eat recycled bacon. I'm only going to eat pork. There's nothing wrong with bacon. There's nothing wrong with pork. But every now and again, spot of fish. Fish and chips, sushi. No?
Yum.
I like that.
Anchovies.
I actually like sushi.
I heard
like
Victor going.
anchovies.
I heard.
Dude,
Oh, you. Victor said I do like anchovies. Did he say?
No, I don't like anchovies.
Ah, I hope
I like fish though.
Hope you're gonna be one of the few people that like them.
No, sorry. I like salmon though. Salmon's hella good.
You know what else likes salmon? Bears.
Mmm.
Are you just saying that because you want my cat to get eaten by a bear or something?
Not your cat.
Oh, so I get eaten by a bear.
The one time she goes to her mailbox, she's like,
You'll be
"No,
hiding
this
in
is
there.
I fucking
this is
clean up
coincidental. No, it's ironic."
Yeah, or just
Whatever.
what? I would love it if once she went to her mailbox and she sees the bear and she's like, bear, when she hears him growling and the bear's like, oh, can you keep it down, please? So, wait, what?
No, what I would do.
Why were you growling? And he's like, my loot crate didn't come.
I would yell at those bears for making such a fucking mess. I clean up those freaking garbage cans all the time, and they keep knocking them over and emptying them out and just making a giant fucking mess all over again.
Are you sure that's a bear?
Yes, it is a bear. It's got fucking bear-like scratches on the side of the trash cans.
Nice. I don't want to see that. I won't. There's not a single
Bear's such
part of
a-
me that. There's not a single part of me that doesn't want to see her go up to a bear and squirt it with the water when it's by her trash cans with no.
I so want to be like, no, you're littering. Stop being such an asshole.
There's not a single part of me that doesn't want to see.
littering.
You're littering. Stop it. Stop it right now.
But I just wanted a picnic basket.
I don't give a shit what you want. You pick that up right now and you put it in the garbage.
But no. But yeah, the physical stuff versus digital stuff. Like I said, I at this point in time, based on this generation, I think they're both equally valid.
Yes.
However, I feel there should be more stuff in place, like there already is, for like I know Game over here, and I think your GameStop will do the same. Like I can walk into Game, and I can buy a digital version of the game from the store, or a season pass,
Weird.
and they sometimes have
I've done
offers.
that before.
They sometimes have offers on the store too. Like I can buy Xenoverse physical and get the season pass and save money. Cool. I feel like more stores should do that, but less stores do season passes and digital stuff and all that than they should.
They do have some stuff over here where I can use like a gift card to buy like a digital version of something, but then still use the in-store sales or coupons or things.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Like something I'm thinking of might just be me, and this might be a little crazy, but I'm thinking Sony and Microsoft should issue a gamer card. I was hearing the echo again, but they should issue a gamer card. I don't know if you'd agree or not, but like, let's say you've got a PlayStation card on you for your PSN. I can go into, say, game over here, and I could say I want that game. I pay for it, then I give them my card, and they just go boop, scan it. When I come home, it's automatically on my system.
That would be freaking awesome.
Thus, I don't need codes anymore. I just need my card. I scan it and it instantly puts on, like, fuck it. And they could even do it where they do sell like a peripheral, or they give you a peripheral where you can insert the card, like a card reader into your digit, boom, it's on there, whatever they want to do. But getting, like, say, like a PlayStation card and being like, I want a season pass, and I'm in town, I'm like, oh, fuck it, here you go, give me a season pass. If they just scan it, and all I got to do when I come home is just download it, that'd be amazing. That'd be much better.
That would be preferable.
I'm surprised they haven't done something like that, to be fair, because it makes too much sense thinking about it logically.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I just think it's weird that like you can go into GameStop and buy like the digital version of like Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's helpful if you have like GameStop credit, but it just seems funny to me that you would go out to buy the code to come back and download it. Like, for some things like a season pass where there's rarely a physical, okay, but like somewhere it's the game and there's physical and digital, it's like, wait, you went out to buy the code?
Yeah, I've seen that before now, and it's like that is weird, although it's also convenient, because I've done that with some stuff before now, with digital stuff, where I've been like, well, I'm already out, I'm here, I've got the money on me, here you go. So I don't have to put the cash back into my account to then use my credit card.
I've done that with like trade-ins, where I've traded a bunch of stuff and then bought the digital version.
Mm-hmm. And when you do it, they're just like, yes, do it. And they're like, why? And that you can't trade that in. We have to see you less. And you're like, no.
I swear for the
like
GameStop
me
in
and
Newburgh,
stuff.
I'd probably say, because the GameStop in Newburgh were fucking dicks.
To you.
They were dicks to me.
But they were really nice to that one customer who gave him like 4 PS4s he purchased from Walmart.
Oh, fuck you.
They gave him a lot of credit for that.
Well, that place, the guy who used to be mean to me doesn't work there anymore, so I haven't gone back since then, since I'm in Monroe now, so, I mean, maybe, like, it'll be nicer, I don't know.
I think it was just you.
They're under new management, so it could be, it's got better.
I think it's you, and when you're like, look, you got a poster in the window, yeah, and it's like Legend of Zelda and it shows Link, but could you please make it like a note underneath that this is not Zelda, this is Link, because I think that would really help us in the general scheme of people who don't know the difference. Oh, really? And there's Pew, yeah. So you think someone should know the names of all the people from a long-running series? And Pew's like, yeah, totally. Okay, here's a poster. Yep. Name every one of these Call of Duty people. Go.
It's funny you should mention a poster, because, like, literally I was supposed to get a poster from them, like, at a midnight release thing, and they gave my poster to some old lady, and it made me really mad. And what am I supposed to do, stop the old lady and be like, yo, back the fuck up, lady, give me my fucking poster.
Yep.
You need not a plastic hip,
You would.
I really wanted to, but it was like a freaking old lady with like, and she's got like a walker and shit, and she's like,
she can't defend herself.
I know, but like, it's not even like the one with the wheels. It's like the one you have to keep putting up and down. It's like, oh my god.
Does it have balls on the front?
It did, and I wanted to fucking like kick it, I wanted to kick that shit and have her fall down and then like stomp on her face.
I will say you should have done that. Like, I've done stuff before now of like, I've been waiting for a taxi, an old woman's been next to me, and she's literally gone into the little place to go to the cafe to get something to drink, and she like takeaway to take home with her. And she's like, "Can you do us a favor? Can you keep my spot for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, totally." Taxi comes, I get in and just go.
It made me so mad that like they gave away my stuff to her, and I wanted to take it back from her, but I'm like, what if she dies like tomorrow?
Question: why did they give her the poster?
I think they gave it to them because they may have also promised her one, or they ran out, or
well, if they promised her one, or if she's going there for her nephew or niece or grandkid or son or whatever's pre-order thing. Technically, what you mean is they didn't give your poster to her. You mean the old woman beat you because she wasn't lazy.
no.
And she got there
I'm pretty
first.
sure. I'm pretty sure that they just gave it to her because they thought they were just giving it out to everybody, or maybe they had a limited amount and they didn't really check who's supposed to get it. Because I don't think she checked the back of it. Because I wrote my name on the back of the one that I was supposed to get, and my name is on the back of the poster that she fucking has.
Oh wow, you got to write your name on the back of it? That's weird.
Yeah, because they had like
Yeah,
a
that is
set
weird.
limited number of them, and I don't know if she was supposed to get one and she didn't write her name on the back of it, or someone
Maybe-
else got hers. But the
Did
one
you-
that I was supposed to
Do you
get,
ever think
he
maybe
got.
she was also called Pew Pew?
No, and I didn't even that's before I freaking even met you guys.
I'd love that if Pew does stop it and goes, I think you'll find Anastasia. That's me. I put that on there. That's my name. If the woman then just pulls down the poster a bit and you see Anastasia, and you see the woman's last name and her date of birth, and she's just like, now, what are you gonna say again? Now, you little brat, and just hits her on the head with a stick and walks off.
I had my freaking GameStop friggin' tag on it and everything. I don't know why the fuck they gave it to her. I don't know. I should have fucking run her down, but I didn't.
No, you shouldn't have run her down. You should have just said, that's my poster.
That's what I said, and she was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is mine.
And did you say it's got my name on the back?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, but this one's mine, though. And I'm like, no, it's really not. And then she started walking away, and then, the freaking cashier let her, and I was like, really?
And he's like, do you remember when you kept harassing me the other week about various games and stuff? And you're like, yeah, payback.
No, was I supposed to fucking take it out of her hands? I mean...
Yes. Yes. While beating her with one of the original Xboxes, because that thing was like a fucking brick.
I kind of just thought of impaling her with her crutches after I took the tennis ball parts off.
What you should have done is beat the living shit out of her and took a selfie with her unconscious body.
Oh my god, fucking the Mortal Kombat thing. That'd be so funny. With her fake teeth in my hand or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you should have took her fake teeth out, put them in backwards, and made her eat her head.
Yeah, but we're getting off topic.
We are. But physical stuff, yeah. No, yeah. Like I said, this gen, the lines have been blurred. I honestly feel the lines have been blurred between which is better. So I can go either way depending on the game. Elder Scrolls Online, I am getting the digital one of that, because the physical one is the exact same stuff as the digital, but it comes with a statue, it comes with a book, and it comes with a steelbook. I don't want that. I just want the game stuff.
Same here.
And I feel that's another advantage for some of the digital stuff. Is some special editions will give you all the stuff in game, but because it's digital, they don't give you statues and shit you don't want. I wish they actually made that a thing with physical as well. I don't know if you'd agree, Rick, but let's say I was going to buy, I don't know, let's say I was going to buy the Elder Scrolls Online. I should be able to buy the Legion, or what the fuck is it, whatever the edition that is for the extra race and shit. I should be able to buy that without having to buy the statue in the book. There should be both versions.
That would be very cool.
Okay, but I was your host after our previous host left to, I don't know,
take a nap or something, get his beauty sleep.
Refund the village people, but
there you go, it's more accurate.
Yeah, and he's going to make a village people cinematic universe. Stay tuned for that. But I was your host this one, Chris, aka The Mole. Joining me was Anastasia Lacebeam.
Hey.
And Rick the Hammer.
See you later.
I believe Victor's had to go AFK, that's fine. And we shall stay tuned for more content next week. Peace.
Yay!